Malungilsid sila ko kami rogo, yako man namsam na tune in na TMC, yang kang kaya ka willow ngironggoy. May kagida ko Meang al Ais mos amlo tobel al sils, makot Meang al Ais ra Ministry of Justice. Masera last week yako man maulol tobra Meang al Ais del gira la Chief la Division of Corrections sa Ministry of Justice Bureau of Public Safety, matagid ang bukmlo update Thursday gidan Meang al Ais. Tialgay samplal serel leringi, misel el plea trial setting conference and legal schedule dra August 10 ra 2 p.m. amla vacate em la tobra calendar egagi da hukmlo stipulation or sell agreement del defendant ma plaintiff samle agree upon magot te defendant agidel obe arogulla arablur belaw mo orders ra court ya ongerung a defendant agidel malus ra apology letter al moringel plaintiff submit ngin more obvious Attorney General for approval o kore adra obvious ra HM o durok ngin more plaintiff. Ongede ang defendant shall have no abusive contact against ngel plaintiff. El sugo manda kalot tirak legal ngarbab en nga mo prosecuted der tagi dem no tutak to the full extent of the law. Dira kalmeyang al Ais na Ministry of Justice, lani arterul interns, lukop no sob irel join na Ministry of Justice. Dira ka nga interns through sele Palau National Scholarship Board, yung ka nga Mr. Dudley Skilang, ma Miss Chelsea Freeze. Mr. Dudley Skilang, am nor sele Division of Maritime Fish and Wildlife, emle University of Guam, mga major of Criminal Justice, and minor of Public Administration. Ya Miss Chelsea Free sa Hukmlos el intern no la Division of Patrol, mara Traffic Unit, ma Division of Juvenile Justice. Ang nga senior ya University of Hawaii at Hilo, al Major Administration of Justice. Komal teman nom saw la tiragi de terul intern sel nga la bela luk tilo bodel mora school el bela luk mo intern. And we hope al sa top the luten mer in muten mer bela la nga schoolir e luk mo o China government traveler belaw o nga sergitar other belaw o kukmura government tergitan mongil. So best of luck on moran ma school and we will see you guys when you return. Tiang direct kal tarameyang al Ais sa Ministry of Justice. Tiang alul top derngiya Obisa Vice President Ministry of Justice el gira Chief ngir blogu of the Division of Maritime Security, Fish and Wildlife Protection and no visit ra Ablura Huliping. Makmamoy retal press release at yang alukol tokor Amerigen makmal di makot te ayamar o kore mamoy warngi. Chief Tamdik Nirblugu of the Division of Maritime Security and Fish and Wildlife Protection paid a visit to the Philippines from July 18th to July 22nd, 2022, focused on strengthening relationship between both countries that share a maritime border and common maritime threats such as illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, impacts from climate change, and other unlawful maritime activities. The U.S. Department of State, Bureau of Public Military Affairs, through Global Defense Reform Program, representatives from Washington, D.C., collaborated with the State Department's Bureau of International Narcotics, Law Enforcement Affairs, and Manila, as well as joint U.S. Military Assistance Group and U.S. agencies for international development to program meetings. Meetings included key Philippine agencies and stakeholders responsible for management, and conservation for the country's fisheries and aquatic resources, and the Philippines responsible for maritime security, search and rescue, and enforcement of maritime fisheries and laws. The visit to the Philippine Coast Guard headquarters in Manila included a visit to their National Coast Water Center, which shares and manages many of the same monitoring, control, and surveillance techniques used by Palau's TMSF-WP at the Joint Operations Center under Chief Tamdik Nirblugu's leadership. The highlight of the visit was meeting the Commandant of the Philippine Coast Guard, Admiral Artemio M. Abu, who rolled out the red carpet welcoming arms with open arms to the Chief Nirblugu at the Philippine Coast Guard headquarters. In a follow-up meeting with the various directors from the Philippine Coast Guard, CG Vice Admiral Roland Lizor Punzalan Jr. remarked that Palau's visit to the Philippines was a breakthrough meeting, and they would subscribe to the ideas laid out in the meetings to pursue, such as developing a strong information sharing partnership and joint efforts to combat IUU, fishing, and other unlawful maritime activities along our nation's shared maritime borders. In conclusion, as per Admiral Abu, this visit was the first visit he remembers occurring since 2015, and he remains hopeful that this is just the beginning of a strong and fruitful partnership with the neighboring Palau. Together, we can help protect and defend our cultures, economics, and livelihoods while promoting the enforcement of international maritime laws and conservation of the biodiversity that threatened by climate change, IUU fishing, and unlawful actors in the Pacific region. Ako tara mamayang alay sa mayang albay sila obis sa Vice President. Obis sa Vice President ulit to betan mayang alay sa gira la Miss Georgia Smith. Hanggang Australian Legal Council and more obis sa Vice President yang Gamler Belau through sila Australian International Volunteers Program yang Gamler Belau sila December 2021. Yang elang order obis sa Vice President review ay local legislatives BPS rules and Bureau of Public Safety rules and regulations, standard operating procedures, Reged 7 Division na Bureau of Public Safety. Nga dira kal advice sa obis sa Vice President in different variety of matters. Dira kal nga sen luo sa MOU, review treaties and drafted administrative directives. Australian Embassy, I'm proud that Miss Smith of the great work that she has been doing, obis ra Vice President. Tiyang ako taramayang alais, High Chief Raklay, amle facilitate ra a meeting, lobang gala Vice President, Director of Public Safety Ismail Akwon, Delegate Kamsong ang nga Chairman Ercel House of Delegate Committee on Judiciary and Government Affairs, Edirekal Senator Cecily Aldabe Mandira Committee in our 10 meeting, Alnia Vice Chairman of the Senate Committee on Judiciary and Government Affairs, Edira Floor Leader State. Tiyan meeting Ministry at leader Congressman, most of it ask a question sa Gira Bureau of Public Safety. Bebira question tir ulgera masada gil outreach program Rabi PS. Patrol and surveillance issues, community engagement. Ya Honorable Vice President Tergida Adra Burbela with Che Udu Sangabaw Senior, mal merang asule la High Chief Raklal organize certain meeting, mal she hopes al wasetian meeting a more regular meeting, al most of it al motma obis ra Vice President, Director of Bureau of Public Safety, matagi del Ramitira Judiciary and Government Affairs, mos il at adu Director of Public Safety, Minister of Justice, who receive some constructive criticism from the congressmen, most of il may musublasing magaral improve the Ministry of Justice. Atara mayang alay sa Ministry of Health and Human Services. Ministry of Health and Human Services, most of us. Ministry of Health and Human Services, sa away sige na adra blubela luaste nganiya 4 fully fledged doctors. Tira ka nga tilob dra sele Cuban educated, tira tilob dra Cuba, tira mla complete sel internship tira hospital, matrigal tokta nga Dr. Tsun Rafael, Dr. Trapun Ngirayngas, Dr. Jason Arurang, Dr. Faiva Ilo Arurang. Let's come together and congratulate the tiragi del all for al best tokta ngalgid. Atara mayang alais ngar tirigele ngara OCE Miran Mora Germany. Yang one the close historical event. 120 years ago, your other Germany mil arara ba el bal ngara malakayo. According to Dr. Patrick Delay, Itiangar elbar elanga ospe tamo renovate. Tamo replace ra half ra roofer segi del bay. Mengtirmar 11 el other tagi del ngara OCE. Lobangela buiki at Jefferson Thomas. Amira el mong yang arsel 2 weeks. El replacer sel half for sel bay el ngara sel museum ra Berlin. Mistel over segi del SM Museum, mendigal building sa Papua New Guinea, mabulur Palau, ang arsel Oceania section tagi del museum. Melang awera bokul masum gurang asuli rad in TMC. On behalf of TMC, we want to give a big birthday shout out and mora Mr. Randy Ronnie. Burdengir el Alsils. A lot of people know him because nga mal adrabway mal tulorab mal botogol aldobe mal mula botogol togorabway. So today is his birthday, so please help me do a really big shout out to Mr. Randy Rani and thank him for all the great services that he provides to not only our government, to TMC, but as well as the community. So happy birthday, Randy, and we hope that this year brings nothing but success, happiness, and joy. And with that, ako mahal na masam na tune in at TMC. Please drive safe and buckle up.